Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be focusing on the Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 3. Before we get to that, I just picked up some new products from Armor Detail Supply. These are actually the new formulations, the new revisions of Shampoo Plus, Ceramic Spray Sealant, and Adapt. I wanted to try those out. Then I picked up, actually DJ included Iron Remover and Amplify, the new versions, in my order for free. So I want to thank DJ for doing that for me. And the reason I picked these up is because I'm going to be doing a decon wash on the Impala, because the Armor Pro coating has now made it to a year. So I want to kind of showcase the performance of that. And we're going to do a decon wash, and then we're going to do a yearly top up, and I'm going to show you how to maintain it after the decon process with the new Ceramic Spray Sealant version 2. So we're going to go through all that effort there with the Impala. And then for the Equinox here, since I have my brother's Equinox, that one has Armor Quartz, the 3-year coating. And this is going to be, I'm going to keep that video generic on how to maintain your Armor Detail Supply coating, regardless if it's the Pro or the consumer version. But I'll probably do an update on this one as well, because I have it. We'll see how it's doing, because I don't know if it's dead on the roof or not. I'm not really sure. So we'll take a look at it from there, because my brother really didn't do a good job keeping this one maintained. So with that said, I'm going to have it for a while. We're in this transition period where he doesn't want it, so I may just take up ownership of it, because it only has like 30,000 miles on that thing. It's a 2018, so I'll probably just keep it for now. I kind of just drive it, and I got to fix up some stuff on the Grand Prix, so I'll daily drive that for a while, and we'll see. If I like it, I'll keep it. If not, then we'll probably just sell it. But let's get back on topic here. This is Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 3. I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to my buddy Eddie Cologne over EC Details. I had ordered this when they announced it on April 1st is when I put my order. Then it got lost in shipment. It was actually sent over to Atlanta, Georgia rather than California, and it just kept going around in that area, so it just got lost in transit. I emailed Feynlab, no response from them. I requested a refund, no response from them. And then I ended up texting Eddie, like, I think around like my birthday, and I told him, like, hey man, can you believe I still haven't received my Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 3? And I even requested a refund, and he thought I wasn't being serious. And I was like, no, I'm being serious. I was like, I don't know what's going on with him. And then he actually just took it upon himself to reach out to whoever he had to do over there in contact. He took my order number and everything, and Feynlab was actually kind enough to refund me my money, but also sent me a bottle of Pure Rinseless version 3. They sent me a drying towel and a blue towel. So they sent me everything in like a kit, and they also sent me a lanyard as well. So I want to, big thank you to Eddie for going above and beyond his duty to resolve that matter at hand. So Eddie, thank you again for taking care of that for me. And so now we can get the chance to try this out. So I'm actually going on their website right now to kind of see the information for version 3. I actually already used this. I used this once, and I will say already it's better than version 2, and actually I like it better than version 1. Sorry, I have allergies today here, but I wanted to kind of just get, if you want the full details here, you can kind of get it in, on their website here. Deep cleaning, glide effect, all this business here. But I want to read you the instructions on here. Actually, I think they're on the back of the bottle here as well. So what I'm going to do is, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to follow the directions as stated on the bottle, because I want to use the product as intended. Now, you can vary it, you can use different variations on the method you wish to do, and also on the dilution ratio that you decide to use. The first time I used it at the standard dilution 256:1, and it worked out pretty well for me on here. I know Eddie was telling me try 1 ounce per 3 gallons of water here as well. But in just looking at this, we're going to just go ahead and use it as it's intended per the directions on the back, which says dilute 1 to 250 in a bucket of water to create a rinseless solution. Prepare a second clean bucket of water. Dip your wash mitt into the rinseless solution and wash down a panel. Immediately dry the panel using a Feynlab drying towel. Rinse the wash mitt in the clean water bucket and repeat the process for the other panels. Now, what that's telling me is the directions on the back tell me to use this as a 2-bucket wash system. So we're gonna do it that way, just to follow the directions, and then I'll show you the actual way to do it. But I'm gonna dilute it with the 1 to 250 and kind of just see how it states on here. So if you want to use this as a waterless wash, the dilution for that is 1 to 125. It's right here on their website. And the rinseless wash method here, 1 to 250 for heavily soiled surfaces. Consider an additional pre-soak step to loosen dirt. Okay, so they at least tell you to use a pre-soak, and it says right here, clean the vehicle surface with a wash mitt or a microfiber towel, employing the 8-sided folded technique to efficiently use clean sections of the towel. Wash from the top down and dry immediately with a high quality microfiber drying towel. And then they have, if you want to do like a spot cleaner, it's 1 to 116 or 1 to 16, and then a clay lubricant, again 1 to 64. So we're going to use this as intended. I have 3 gallons of water. So where's my dilution here at 1 to 250? Let me get this set up here before I get this set up here. So I'm just using Omni calculator here, and so if I do 1 to 250, I'm going to be using, in 3 gallons of water, 45 milliliters of product, which in ounces is 382 ounces of water in there. So that's what I'm going to use. 1 to 250 equates to 45 milliliters of product. So that's what we're going to go ahead and dump in the bucket, and we're going to go ahead and do the rinseless wash. So let me go ahead and put my safety glasses on because it is sunny. These are tinted safety glasses, and the thing I like about this one is it has the measuring cup on here, so I can actually just squeeze out the product here. So this is 30 milliliters of product in there. Let's go dump this out here into my bucket. I'm going to squeeze out another. Okay. So that's the dilution that we just came up with. Okay. And we're going to just mix this up. Now I'm going to get my pre-soak ready. So we'll pump this up. So this is the towel that they gave me. They gave me this nice plush towel. You know what? Let's just go ahead and use that. We'll dunk it in the solution, and then we'll use the drying towel that that they gave me in there. Now this car is not super dirty. The reason I'm washing is because it has all these little red things here, and they have the tree starting to sap, and they're really stuck on the paint on here. So these like here, this one's got sap in there. Right on there. So we're going to just go ahead and pre-soak the top. We'll do the top in the glass just for demonstration purposes, just to show you how it works. On there, you can see how it lays flat on there. So I'm going to take this towel and, like I said, they're telling you to do basically a 2-bucket wash with the rinseless wash here. That's not the way I would do it. I would just do either a traditional wash with it, like I'm doing here with the towel, and just keep flipping it to. This thing is pretty dirty. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just clean the glass with the dirty side. Just keep rotating your towel. And you can see it didn't clean up everything because there's still some caked on business, but it'll break it down. I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this piece I'm at it. And again, there's a little bit on there. So you would just go around the entire car with your towel, and then here's what they would tell you to do. I'm trying to see which side had the dirt on there. Actually, it's this side. So what they're telling you to do is you take your towel and you dunk it into the clean bucket of water, and you can see my solution had turned dirty. I just squeeze all that out as much as I can, and then I will fold this back and I will dunk it back in there. That's what they're telling me to do. That's just too much work for a rinseless wash in there. And then I'll take the drying towel. Actually, this is my first time using this towel. It's a twist loop drying towel. Get some of this crud out of here. And you can see how easy it is to wipe off the surface. So even at their recommended dilution ratio, 1 to 250, it comes off easier than version 1 and easier than version 2. And I don't know what's on the glass, but it's pretty slick. So that's, again, you just go around the entire thing and do that. So let me just go ahead and do this section here. And we're going to use one of the sponges here. I just have the ultra black sponge here. So that's the method that they would recommend. So let me just take the ultra black sponge. You can see it is surfactant heavy. And then I would just take my sponge. I'll tell you what, they said that the lubricity that they did for this one is so much better than the first two versions. They did a great job to get it, because it glides really nice on the surface. And then I would just take, what I would do, actually, I would just take this and dunk it back in my solution. That's the way I would do it. I would do it either that way or just have multiple towels in the bucket and just be done. Then I'll just dry this off. And this dries off nicer than the first version, and the second version was horrible. I ended up throwing my second version away in the trash, and the second version had this, I didn't like the scent that they used for it. It reminded me too much of like pine sol. This one actually has a pleasant scent to it. Okay, and so that's pretty much it for Feynlab Pure Rinseless. Again, this is the second time I've used it, and it actually is a lot easier to work with. You know, it doesn't leave any soapy residue like the first version had this. It had this residue that would leave behind. It would take a little bit more effort to wipe off, and so when you were using a drying aid, it would negate the properties of the drying aid. This version, I haven't tried it with a drying aid, but it doesn't seem like it will do that. So far this one actually is much user-friendly in comparison to version 1. Version 2, I can't remember, it was so long ago, and I only used it really one time and I got rid of it. But yeah, that works out really good, and so it's still a good cleaner till this day. That hasn't changed. It took off the little sap that was still fresh and gooey. You can see that this thing is got some sap residue on here because it is sticky. So that's how I'm washing the car, so the sap doesn't stay on there and harden up and get really nasty. So that's it for Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 3. I think it's a much better upgrade over version 2, and it's definitely much better than version 1. So they did a great job getting version 3 ready, so they took the feedback, made this better, and I'm using it at the regular 1:250 dilution ratio, and it's working for me. It's working just fine. If it's not working at this dilution ratio, just use it at the standard 256:1. You can play around 1 to 3 ounces or 1 ounce per 3 gallons to try that and kind of just see if it works out for you as well. Again, everybody's rinseless wash experience is going to be different because everybody's water is different. So if you have you know, water that's on the hard side, you may have to adjust your dilution, of course, on there. So just kind of sharing my thoughts here. So far for me, it's working out just fine at the 1:250 dilution ratio. Again, they're recommending to do a 2-bucket wash with Pure Rinseless. I don't think you need to. I think you're good if you just do 1 bucket and you'd be just fine. But again, if you want to have the safety of it, just go ahead and do 2 buckets, or just throw multiple towels in your wash bucket and then you just cycle them out and you're good to go. So again, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions on Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 3, go ahead and post down below. If you've used this, go ahead and share your thoughts. And again, thanks for watching. I will catch you next one. So take care, everyone. I wanted to come back and share some final thoughts on the product here as I used it on the entire car here. This is the second time I used it. The first time I used it, it was on an overcast day, and I had no issues. I just went around the car, dried it off, and I was done. I did come back and remove some residue as well on an overcast day. The first time I used it, I came back with a quick detailer, kind of just knocked some things out, just in case I missed some things, because it's silver paint, so I couldn't really tell. And on the first time, the glass wasn't an issue. This one, because I use it at the intended dilution ratio that's recommended by Feynlab, I noticed that, especially if you're working in direct sun, you're going to want to dry it off the glass quicker, because it is going to leave residue behind. So when I came back with my drying towel the first pass, you know, my towel was a little damp. You know, I left a little some leftover residue from the Feynlab. I just came back and I wiped it off after I was done drying the entire vehicle. So it's not going to stain anything. It's just you're going to probably want to use a secondary towel if you're using it in direct sun. So as your first towel gets damp, your second towel, you can kind of just knock down some of the residue that may be left behind from the Feynlab. Again, not a bad thing for the product. I'm just letting you know that this is probably not the product you're going to want to use in direct sun. If you do use it in direct sun, you're going to want to go panel by panel. I know that that's not the most efficient way, but it is what it is at this point. So overall, I think they did a good job with Feynlab with Pure Rinseless version 3. This is what version 2 should have been, and I think they did a good job with this one. Good lubricity, good, again, still same good cleaning power here. Also, the other thing I did notice is this one plays better with a drying aid. So if you want to use your drying aid, it doesn't seem like it's going to impact it. So I did notice that my slickness was on the surface, because when I washed the wheels, I did use a drying aid. I used Carpro Echo, and it did just fine there. So that's one good thing about it as well. The other thing I wanted to kind of mention here is I did dunk my measurement cup in the bucket here, and you can see that that dark residue in the bottom, that's the dirt that's suspended towards the bottom. So if I move this around, you can see that within the whirlpool, you can see that the heavy dirt settles at the bottom. So it seems like it does a pretty good job at encapsulating the dirt from the surface. So you can see it's just kind of settling on the bottom there. So I just want to kind of point that out there, that it does do a good job. So if you want to use this in a 1 bucket style, you're going to be perfectly fine. I was trying both methods. I watched like half the car with the method that Feynlab recommends with the 2 buckets, and then that way, if you're using a 2 bucket like the way they mentioned, you're not going to get as much dirt in your wash solution. Now if you're going to be using it as a 1 bucket wash with your sponge, then you are going to have some dirt in there, but just note that the product is going to encapsulate and take the heavy stuff to the bottom. So again, perfectly safe. Works really well with the sponge as well. You'll notice the increased lubricity if you do have Feynlab Pure Rinseless version 1 or 2. So again, thanks for watching. catch you on next one. Go ahead and post down below as I mentioned before, and share your thoughts if you've used version 3 yet. If not, would you use version 3? I'm just gonna let you know that this is not in my top 3 rinseless washes, so I will mention that. I am making a video. I'm gathering some data. I ordered another version of Absolute, another bottle, because I heard that it's not as clumpy as the first one, so I want to kind of test that out and kind of see how it is before I get to the top 3 rinseless wash videos, top 3 rinseless wash video that I have planned. So again, hang tight, and we'll get to that fairly soon. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next one. So take care, everyone.